Hey, it's DocJen, and I just want to go over the bent over row real quick because I see a lot of issues with back pain, particularly with this one. So I just want to give you some of my cues, tips, and ways that you can modify and switch it up to still get the benefit of what a bent over row gives you without having the effect of a low back pain. Okay, so first things first, if you have dumbbells in front of you, we have to pick them up like a deadlift. Okay, so we're not just coming down and picking them up off the floor and rounding into your back. Already there, we're getting a little lazy in the body and making the back work a little bit more than it needs to. So you want to work from the legs if you're going to be picking it up, because we do start in like a deadlift position, but bent over. So first things first, we're going to bend down, pick up the weight. So I want you to be nice and close to the weight, bending down. So bend those knees as much as possible. Okay. And then from here, pinch from the shoulder blades. So pull the shoulder blades kind of back and down and push the ground away. Okay. So again, from here in this deadlift position, I want you to come down really low as possible. Drop your bottom, pinch into those shoulder blades, and then push the ground away. Now I didn't have to make my back do anything. Okay, now I can set up for that bent over row. So I want the feet directly underneath me. I'm already going to have some bend in my knees, and then I shoot my hips to the back. Notice how close the weights are. My thumbs, my fingers are touching my body as I come down right past my knees here. Okay, so let me show you from a different side. From here, I'm going to drop my hips back, and the entire time I also maintain this pinch. And what I mean by a pinch is that pretend there's a pencil right in your armpit, and you want to hold and pinch into that pencil. So you don't want it to go anywhere. That is that pinch that I want you to create. Okay, so I bend down really close to the weights, and I pinch, and I pull the ground, I push the ground away. Then from here, I'm going to bend down, keeping my bottom back, that pinch in my shoulder blades, and I want to feel the weight into my heels. Okay. This is really important here, is that I want to feel the weight into my heels here so that I'm activating through my back of my legs. Now, the thing that we can't avoid in bent over rows is that because you're preventing your body from rounding, your back has to work. So just like a deadlift does still work our back, a bent over row will still use your back. When we talk about core, the core is not just the front of the body. The core actually wraps around the entire pillar here. So it is the back as well. And if we want a strong core, we also want a strong back. So it's not something to avoid. Okay. So if you feel a little pressure, that could be tension. That could be your muscles working, and it's not bad. Okay. We just don't want pain. So there has to be a difference between tension, muscle activation, and then pain. So pinch into the shoulder blades, bend at the knees, drop those hips back. So my knees are directly over my ankles here. And then as I pull, I'm actually going to think of my hands going toward my hips, and I pull first from my shoulder blades. So my shoulder blades lift, and then I pull my hands back toward my hips, and then I let my hands go, and then my shoulder blades, and then pull, and then lower. Okay, so what I'm doing here as I pull from my shoulder blades first, I'm making my mid traps, low traps do most of the work here rather than just getting into my arms or my biceps. And I'm not trying to curl and pull the weight up toward my shoulders. I really want to make sure that I pinch back and I'm pulling back toward my hip here, keeping my elbows in toward my side as much as possible, because that's going to make this long head of my triceps actually get to work here as well. So my triceps work, my lats work by pulling in, and I'm trying to go as high as I can, keeping my shoulder blades guiding the way and then letting it go. Now, if all of that, you did it all and you're still like, I feel pain in my back, let's mix it up. Okay. One thing that you can do first to try to mix it up and to get a little bit of thoracic rotation, so we take some tension off that low back and we make the upper back work a little bit more, is going to be alternating the row. So again, coming down, push the ground away, set my hips back. The weight comes right under my knees. I'm going to pull from one side and then pull the other side. So pull one and the other. Again, I'm keeping it tight to my body. I'm allowing the weight to come toward my hip, squeezing into my shoulder blade and pulling back. The other thing to remember here is that you need to breathe. Okay. Now, if you are still like, okay, I felt that, but I still feel way too much pressure in my low back and it doesn't feel good. The last modification I have for you here is to then take a staggered stance. Okay. So I'm going to bend down, pinch, pick it up by pushing away from the ground. Come into a staggered stance. So my hand that is in the weight, that leg is going to step back and I'm going to let my shoulder blade down, shoulder blade lift, and I come toward my hip here. So down toward my hip, down toward my hip. And you're going to feel everything is still working in your back. Everything is still working in, where the triceps, the lat, the mid trap, everything is still working in that back area that rows are creating. But now you're taking some pressure off of your back by going into a staggered stance here. Okay. So hopefully that was helpful. You never are stuck to one way of moving. You're never stuck to doing something that doesn't feel good in your body. We always get to explore, what can I do differently? How can I move the weight differently? How can I move my body differently so I can feel a different effect? Now, if there's other exercises that you really are afraid of, or you notice every time I do it, I get pain, and you want me to go over it, please comment below and let me know what other recommendations that you need. I'm going to be doing a lot more of these videos because I always want you to have access to exercise, access to workouts, because it is that builds resiliency within the body and helps keep us strong and healthy. So comment below, let me know. If you love what you're learning, don't forget there's so much more that I have in store. So hit that subscribe button, check out the other videos so that you don't miss anything and you continue to learn and feel amazing within your body.